Whoop.
Did you ever have one of those plastic bug jars with a magnifying glass on top when you was a kid? They were the kind of thing you'd find in the toy aisle, nestled between the rubber snakes and the glow-in-the-dark dinosaurs. I had one too, but of course I had to be extra. Instead of just using it to observe bugs, I turned it into a fashion accessory. A necklace, to be exact. Not much has changed since then, except now I give the big spiders a wide berth. Tiny money spiders though, still cute. I can handle those, as long as they're not ziplining into my hair on a windy day. But enough about my current arachnophobia. Let me take you back to when I was the neighbourhood bug whisperer with a side gig in accidental spider homicide.
Huh?
When I was around 5 or 6, I developed a mild obsession with collecting bugs, especially spiders. While other kids were into dolls or toy cars, I was out there with my trusty bug jar necklace, rescuing insects like some kind of pint-sized superhero. Ladybirds caught in webs, freed. Moths stuck in the porch light, rescued. The spiders that built those webs, captured and imprisoned in my bug jar, of course. Back then, I had zero fear of spiders. I was a fearless wild child, always running around barefoot through the garden, convinced I was on some grand mission. My mum would try to get me to slow down, but good luck catching a barefoot kid with a bug jar. Honestly, our garden was a safe haven though. No poisonous snakes or anything, so what could possibly go wrong? Looking back, I wonder what was going through my little mind. Did I think the bugs were grateful? Did I believe the spiders were plotting their escape from their plastic prison? Who knows? All I know is that I was a girl on a mission. Now, let me paint you a picture. It's a typical summer day and my auntie is in charge. My mum, always the practical one, probably told her, make sure Stacey takes a bath. Easier said than done. You see, I had a well-earned reputation for dodging bath time like it was some sort of medieval torture. But on this particular day, my auntie was determined. She finally managed to get me into the tub, and that's when the real battle began, scrubbing my feet. My feet were so black with dirt you'd think I'd been walking through a coal mine barefoot. No amount of soap could easily break through the layers of grime. It was like I had a permanent mud tattoo, a badge of honour from all my barefoot adventures. She must have wondered how one small child could accumulate so much dirt in such a short time. Here's where things take a turn for the gross. Picture this. I'd been so busy rescuing bugs and avoiding bath time that I had completely forgotten about the spiders that I'd captured. They were in my jar necklace, of course, where I assumed they'd just be fine. I mean, I tossed in a few leaves and sticks for good measure. What more could they want, right? Well, little did I know, spiders don't have much use for foliage. After about a week or so, those poor spiders had passed away, turning my once lively bug jar into a tiny spider graveyard. And here's the kicker, I didn't even notice. I walked around for days with a necklace of dead spiders, blissfully unaware that my insect fashion statement had gone from quirky to downright creepy. When my mum finally spotted it, she put an end to my morbid accessorizing. From then on, I had to release my spider captives at the end of each day. But for that 1 week, I was the girl with the dead spider necklace. If I'd been a bit older, maybe I could have started a trend, gothic insect jewellery or something. But at 5, I was just that weird kid with a jar full of dead bugs.
Stop it. Get some help.
Fast forward a couple of years, I'm a little older, still curious, and apparently still not wise enough to leave well enough alone. One day, I'm exploring the garden when I spot something strange. A fuzzy white ball tucked away in the corner of a flower pot. Naturally, I had to investigate. I didn't know at that time, but that fuzzy ball was a spider egg sac, a ticking time bomb of tiny 8-legged terror. Being the genius that I was, I decided to poke it with a stick. Why? Who knows? Maybe I thought it was some kind of treasure. Well, it wasn't long before the mother of all spiders appeared, and she was not happy. She came charging out of nowhere, all legs and fury. Before I knew it, she was crawling up my arm like some vengeful spirit. I froze. This was the moment all those captured spiders had been waiting for, their revenge, delivered by the biggest spider I'd ever seen. I don't think I've ever moved so fast in my life. 1 second I was poking a spider egg, the next I was sprinting across the garden, screaming like a banshee. My mum was standing by the car, keys in hand, ready to leave. When she saw me barreling towards her, a giant spider hitching a ride on my arm, in one swift motion, she flung the spider off me with the precision of a ninja. 1 point for mum, 0 for spider. Lesson learned, never poke a spider egg sac unless you're prepared for a showdown of epic proportions. Now, if that wasn't enough spider drama for one childhood, let me tell you about the time I came face to face with a tarantula. At school, of all places. I was that quiet kid, the one who always got the "Stacey's great, but she needs to speak up more" talk during parents' evening. So, when our teacher announced that we'd be handling animals for our rainforest project, I thought, might as well get it over with. And for once, I decided to put my hand up to volunteer, not knowing what was coming next. And then they brought her out, Rose, a giant hairy tarantula with legs as thick as pencils. Suddenly, all that enthusiasm evaporated, but it was too late to back out. The teacher, oblivious to my growing terror, placed Rose right into my hands. I had no choice but to sit there, holding this enormous spider, pretending I wasn't internally screaming. And you know what? Once I got past the initial shock, it wasn't so bad. Rose was surprisingly gentle, just kind of hanging out, probably wondering why this kid was shaking so much, but that experience taught me a valuable lesson. Never volunteer for something unless you know exactly what you're signing up for. Thanks, Rose, for that life lesson, one I've carried with me ever since. So, after all these spider-related mishaps, you'd think I'd hate spiders with a burning passion. But here's the thing, they're actually kind of amazing. I mean, sure, they give me the heebie-jeebies, but they do serve a purpose. Spiders are like nature's pest control, keeping those annoying flies in check. Flies are the worst, buzzing around, landing on your food, making you question every outdoor picnic. So yeah, props to spiders for taking care of that. But as for the big ones, nope, I'll pass. I think my lingering fear comes from that time when a giant spider tried to turn me into dinner for her babies. Funny how that sort of thing sticks with you. Still, I have to give spiders some credit. They're fascinating creatures with their webs and hunting skills, just as long as they stay at a respectful distance. Several feet, maybe a couple of miles. Looking back, it's clear that spiders have played a bigger role in my life than I anticipated. From my book collecting days to that unforgettable encounter with Rose, they've always managed to crawl their way into my story. Pun absolutely intended. If you've enjoyed this little trip down my arachnophobic memory lane, or just like hearing about my oddball childhood, make sure to visit stacyalou.com for stickers, bookmarks and more. You can also commission portraits and illustrations. And don't forget to check out Super Poppy, my children's book about a guinea pig's adventures with baked beans. Seriously, it's a wild ride. If this story has brought a smile to your face, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more of my quirky tales. Before you go, I've got to ask, what's your craziest bug or spider story? Did you have a bug jar like mine, or maybe something even stranger happened? Share your stories in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Who knows, maybe we can bond over our childhood bug trauma. See you!